Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with a Project Life spread for you, and I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm not using a subscription kit per se, but I'm using my two mystery grab bag kits that I purchased from Project Life. These are the ones that were on sale a couple months ago. I think they were $5 a kit, and I got two different ones. I got the August 2015 and let's see if I remember what this one is. May 2015. So what I've done, I thought about using them individually, but I decided to go ahead and combine them. So I've just taken them out of the boxes. After I do this layout, they're all just going to go back into the same box. I'm not going to keep them separate. And then I actually pulled out the cards that I had left over from my April 2016 kits, and this is when I actually used for the kit review series for Project Life. So, for Studio Calico. So I have one 4x6 card left and a bunch of 3x4 cards. So I'm going to take all of these products and make a Project Life spread, and then I'm going to combine them all back together and possibly make more. But I just wanted to pull it out and use it today. I thought it'd be interesting, and I really like this bright pink, so I'm going to see what I can do. I'm pulling out photos from Kaylin's birthday party. We did a birthday party at a kid's cooking studio that's called Flower Power, and that's just a picture of his superhero themed cupcake tower. So anyways, I'm going to pull out the pictures from that birthday party and go ahead and get scrapping. Alright guys. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm going to be using these Studio Calico kits, and I'm just going to kind of move them aside and set a few things out, just flipping through to see what cards and things I want to use. I have a lot of things that I can use here, especially cards. There's a really good variety of cards here. There's probably a pile of, I don't know, 50 cards or more that I can actually pick from, and lots of little embellishments, some die cuts, some stickers, some labels, some rubber embellishments, some chipboard. Of course, I have the little glassine bags and things like that I'll keep. I always keep all the packaging. There's no question about that. And I like to incorporate that into the layout. Now, I have all my photos here, and then I had this little photo strip, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to use this collage photo down here or cut this photo strip apart and use it a little bit differently. So I'm going to play around with both of those ideas just for a moment until I kind of decide. Now, I knew right off the bat that I wanted this hot pink card in the top, even though it's not the right month. Really not the right color. I just really like the bold pop of that hot pink, and I have absolutely no problem whatsoever mixing pinks with photos of my son, especially. This is his birthday party. He's turning 4, and it's a superhero party. It can't get much more boy than that, but I still have absolutely no problem mixing hot pink with these photos. It doesn't bother me whatsoever, and I feel like as long as I incorporate it the right way, then it looks just fine. So if you are a scrapbooker and you mostly have boys, don't be afraid to add pink in. I love pink, and I don't actually scrapbook that many photos of myself, so I really like being able to use pink on any layout that I possibly can. All right, so I have this card up here to the top right, and it's got this bold text. Well, it's not bold. It's a black text print. I guess it's a bold black, I should say. But it's a very small text, and it just says things like, actually it counts. It's counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it goes all the way up, and then it has things like every other line. So it looks like it has 2 lines of numbers, a line of words, 2 lines of numbers, a line of words. And it says things like go berry picking, lemonade stand, summer fun, go on, an adventure, fly a kite, popsicles, homemade popsicles, picnic at the park. So what I'm going to do, because it's not really relevant so much to this layout, I'm going to use a little bit of tissue paper and cover that up. It is still legible and still you can see it. I really like the fact that it had some little words in there that are in that lime green color. But I'm going to layer a bit of washi tape over the top of it just to kind of tone it down, and also so that I can put my journaling on top of it. I'm going to layer something over that August word so I can actually put my title there as well. So I am using pops of this hot pink blue, and some lime green. Those are pretty much, and then of course black and white. But those are pretty much going to be my colors for this spread, and I absolutely love how this turned out. I think it's so pretty, and I really think that it fits well with his birthday party because his birthday party was superhero themed. Superheroes typically have, well, they have pretty bold colors. It's usually like red and blue or black and green, but I just like the really deep colors of the photos with the bright, colorful colorful colors in the papers, I should say. That didn't make a whole lot of sense. I like to use the little offcuts, as I have mentioned many times before. I like to use the little offcuts throughout my page. So like that little scrap piece of pink, I'm going to put at the bottom of that Flower Power card, and it just brings a little bit of pink to that side of the layout. And it's just a really great way to use up some scraps, but also be able to make sure that your paper is cohesive throughout. So I'm layering up some of this tissue paper. I just need to trim it down to the right size to be able to fit on that card. And then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive on the back. And okay, I'm like really struggling with this thing. This is like a roller adhesive from Making Memories, I believe, and it's really old, and it's from my sister. She was no longer using it, and so I decided, I'll use anything that anybody gives me. And so I went ahead and just used it on this card because I wanted to tack down the sides of that tissue paper without really being able to see much of the adhesive. And having a real thin strip of adhesive that just looks like a white line is very undistracting. Like it just looks like it's part of the paper. And I really like the way that is. So I pulled out two of the little chipboard pieces. One says Story of My Life and the other one says Love This. And it was just in that black and white color. So I was kind of tapping my fingers trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And there was this square die cut with triangles on it that was in that lime green color. And so I layered it on top of this one card with that pink on the bottom. And that is a perfect card for his cupcake tower. And it continues to bring a little bit of that pink down into the other parts of the paper. I pulled out this little bit of washi tape, and it just says I love you over and over again in a script pattern. And I'm going to put it at the bottom of this card. It brings a little bit of that darker color down here to this part of the layout as well. And it's also very relevant to this picture. So Kaylin turned 4 this month. This was December 2014. As I mentioned, I'm trying to finish out my 2014 album. And we had gotten him drum sets for his birthday. So not drum sets, it was one set of drums, I should say. And so this is just a collage picture of him. I mean, he's like in his underwear, hair is crazy and everywhere, playing these drums because when he woke up, it was there and he was so excited. I wanted to use that circle blue die cut, but it doesn't make it on this page. It matched the colors, which is why I kept trying to make it work, but it was just a little bit too big for what I was looking for. So I layered 3 little pieces of this tissue paper right here, and this is the same tissue paper I used on that card right to the right of this title card. And I just layered 3 different pieces of it because I like the stacked layer look, but it also made it to where you couldn't see the word August through that. Now it just looks like a pink card with a white label. And so I am making my title Birthday Boy, and I have 2 sets of like green foam thickers. They're not the same though. One was from Studio Calico and one is from American Crafts. I imagine they probably were designed the same, but because they were printed a little bit differently, the color is slightly off. So I just have to be careful when I'm using different ones from different sets, but it looks fine. You can't even tell. Now he turned 4, so the other side of one of those sets has some blue foam stickers, just the same. And so I am using the light blue ones to write the word or write the number 4. So it's going to say ... 4. And I just cut those little dots a little bit because they were commas, not dots. And I wanted to make it look like dots instead of commas. This one's going to be a pretty simple title card, but I really like how it turned out. All right, moving on, I decided to go ahead and use my roller date stamp that they provided. And it has words like morning, noon, night, evening, afternoon, all kinds of different words on it. It's like time related, I suppose. And so I'm gonna put the stamp on the title card, or on the card with the flower power, but also on the card with the drums. And I'm going to put a title here first, and it's going to be, I'm trying it directly on the card, and I'm going to end up changing my mind and putting it on a strip of green pattern paper just to add a bit of that green to this card. And so it's just going to say party time, and I'm using these silver alphas that came in the kit. I was just trying to decide, is there something else that I can layer there? The silver was just blending in a bit too much with the background. So I'm going to my scrap bin just to see if I can find some paper, and this one worked out perfectly. I always try to pull from the kit first, but if I can't pull something from the kit, then I will go to my scrap bin. And I have about 3 different ways I organize my scraps, but they're basically in just 3 different buckets. Depends on the size as to which bucket they're in. I keep the small ones in a smaller little bucket. That way it's easier for me to flip through versus keeping the larger pieces in a larger like tray type of thing. That way they don't get folded or messed up. So anytime like this, when I'm looking for just something a little bit different, I will go to that scrap bin and see if I can find something in there. And this time it worked perfectly. And that also brings a bit of that green to this card, whereas this card was just more blue and pink. So it says party time, and then I'm going to add a little bit of journaling right in between the title of party time and that green in the pink strip. And then I'm using one of the number labels here that came in the kit as well, and I'm just going to add a little bit of journaling on here. And I'm kind of skipping around. I'm sorry that I'm skipping around, but that's really how my brain works whenever I'm scrapbooking. I made a simple label up here with just some white cardstock, and I put the date. Because this is the title card for my December portion of my album, the title really is Birthday Boy 4, but I needed to make sure that I had December 2014 as well, because this is the title for the December section of my album. So I put here and now on this one flower power label, and then I'm putting morning, noon, and night on this other one, and I handwrite the comma and I handwrite the ampersand sign, because once you got these drums, it was morning, noon, and night drumming. So that was pretty perfect actually to put here. Okay, everyone, so I finished the layout and I went to turn off my camera and it had turned off because the memory was full. So that annoys me to no end. And usually I'm really good about checking it every 10 or 15 minutes, but today was a fail. So I want to go ahead and share with you the completed layout and show you each card, just so you can see what was not captured by the camera. So I'll just go through each card. A lot of it was captured, but not everything. So this is the title card. I just added a date at the top. I've got one enamel dot. I've got Birthday Boy, and since I had that August title on there, I just layered up some layers of this packaging, and then added Birthday Boy, which is kind of my title card. And then I stamped Love This, so it says Birthday Boy ... 4, and then I stamped Love This. This card, I used the background, which is black and white, and a few little bright green pieces of text. I added some enamel dots. I added a stamp that said Love This, and then I put a star that says So Much Fun, and then I added journaling. And what I did is I took another piece of this packaging. I had already layered one on the background, but I just took another one and drew lines with my Tim Holtz ruler and my Sharpie and the ultra fine point, and did my journaling. And then I stamped Love This down here. Added 2 little scraps of paper just to pull in a little bit more color, and then the enamel dots are in that blue. And what it says is, it says, this year we did a big birthday party for Kaylin, his first big party, and he was so excited. All his best friends came to join the cooking fun. It was a new experience. They got to cook and eat and play and celebrate Kaylin. And then I put one of those chipboard pieces from this set, and it just says Love This. I know the journaling was not captured by the camera. And what I did, originally I was just putting it on here to kind of test to see if it would smear, and then I ended up thinking, well, It'll be a lot more legible if it has another layer of that kind of see-through paper or transparent paper instead of being directly on the background, which is why I chose to do that. These couple cards are very simple. I just added one enamel dot here. I just added a stamp that says, "This was so fun." And that's this little tiny stamp set, and I really like it because it has a lot of little small words. Works perfectly for Project Life. Same thing, I just did a stamp that says "Awesome" down here. This one, I had layered the photo on a piece of packaging. It was the stamp packaging. And then I put a green banner, and then I put "Party Time" over that and the alphas that came in the kit, or came in the packages. I stamped "Love This," and then I put a little bit of journaling plus a little piece of that pink card that I had cut off to bring that color down here. And it says, "We had an awesome party at a kids cooking studio for Kaylin. Pizza, cookies, and cupcakes." And then I put superheroes because it was all superhero themed. And then I stamped "Here and Now." This bottom card, I added a bit of washi tape down here at the bottom. I stamped "Morning, Noon, and Night" using this roller stamp. I used another chipboard piece that says "Story of My Life," and then I put drums, "Oh boy." And then I just have the washi tape that says "I love you." And then this very last card here, it's just basically the photo, and then I added a label. I took number 32 off of here because I figured if I'm going to number something, I'm going to start at 1. So as I'm using these, if I don't use the numbers, I'm going to start from the bottom up, just so I still have like 1 through 10 if I want to make a list or something like that. So I said, Kaylin made a Captain America birthday cookie. Say cheese. He's giving like a super cheesy grin. So there's his Captain America cookie. And then I added another piece of that pink cut off card, and I still have a few pieces of it left here. And then I added just a white enamel dot. So that is it for this layout. The only things that I added to the kits that I had were just some scrap of this green paper to be able to bring in a few more pieces of green. I added this washi tape, which is from American Crafts. It's kind of a chalkboard looking washi tape, and then it just says "I love you." I added these stickers, which are actually from Studio Calico when I was actually subscribing to their kit, so it's pretty fitting that I used that with the Studio Calico kits. And then I added my homemade enamel dots. And then of course my pens, my Sharpie, ultrafine point, and my Pentel RSVP pen. These are my go-to pens. I use these all the time. They stay right here on my desk, and they are just useful. And I think that is it. Yes, that should be it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Stay tuned at the end. I will have some still shots of this layout. Alright guys, bye!